feet parallel, about hip distance apart. This is our progressive therapeutic yoga practice. As you're standing tall, take a look down at those feet, somewhat parallel. Lift the toes up. Breathe, mouth closed, breathing through the nose, and then let the toes drop down. Bring your awareness to the ball of the foot. So let's go ahead and lift the heels up and take the weight off of the heels. We're going up. This would be considered plantar flexion. And then slow lower down. Keep breathing and then take the ball of the feet up. You can take both of them or one at a time up off the mat. Notice what happens. And then put them back down. And then as we are standing in standing mountain, Tadasana, then we want to feel the weight even between the ball of the foot and the heel. I like to lift the toes up high so that we remind the muscular arch, because what's happening down here at the feet is influencing the knees, the hips, the spine, the shoulders, your whole body. So oftentimes when we're at the beginning of a class, it's like, come on, Nydia, let's go with this already. Let's get going with the important stuff. This is the important stuff. Because what happens at our feet, relax the toes down, influences everything else. We begin with hands at heart center. Mouth closed, breathing through the nose. Let's begin with one long, strong Om inhale. Coming into our attention position. Our therapeutic sun salutation. Let's begin with this therapeutic sun salutation. But I'm encouraged by a question that Rita asked about how low should I squat? The therapeutic sun salutation is one of the practices that I love to use to encourage people's natural ability to squat. We were designed to squat. So let's start with the first part. Inhale, reach up, and exhale, hands to heart. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, hands to heart. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, hands to heart. Now, hold steady for a moment. Keep breathing. This next portion begins the squat. And we start small. So once again, weight is even between the ball of the foot and the heel. But this is an important thing that sometimes individuals miss. And if you're, at home doing this, I can't always see what's happening. Although for you, Jack, I've seen your body do this. I know that you're doing this well. But when we're thinking about what happens next is when we inhale, raise the arms up, and we begin to exhale, the most common thing that I see is this. You see how all of my weight is now shifted onto the ball of my feet. And if I don't take care, I'm going to fall forward. And so we do this and we don't really think much about it. Guess what? Let's nip this in the bud. If you're training to have a good squat, however low that might be, then from the get-go in the therapeutic sun salutation, let's inhale, reach up. Now as you exhale, sit your bottom back. Don't worry about so much of a big knee bend right just yet. But I want you to sit your bottom back and have your spine relatively, you see how my spine hasn't really changed, but my hip hinge has? Inhale, reach up. Sit your bottom back. Feel the weight through the heel, but also through the ball of the foot. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, sit back. Now inhale, reach up. Bring the hands to thighs. Sit your bottom back. Let's do that again. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, sit back. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, sit back and hold. So right now, as you're holding, if you look down at your body here, my side profile, my knees are just about halfway dividing my foot. Now, everybody's foot's a little bit of a different length, but my knees, as they fall down, my knees are not over my toes or beyond my toes. My knees, and so that means that I have shifted my weight back, keep breathing, but I also have weight on the ball of my feet. I'm doing it on purpose. And we're breathing. Now from here, we're going to inhale, extend the spine. And exhale, flex round through the spine. Inhale, extend the spine. And exhale, flex round. Keep going. Inhale, extend. Exhale, flex round. And this is important because this is one place. Inhale, extend. In order to get to this position, exhale, flex round. 2 more. Inhale, extend the spine. And exhale, flex round. 1 more. Inhale, extend the spine. And exhale, flex round. Come back to neutral before we come to standing. Inhale and exhale, hold. By the way, this is not easy. You should feel muscles working here. You should never feel knee pain. But muscles back here, through here, here, or should be working. Inhale, sweep up. And exhale. Now here's the deal. With this kind of a request for this kind of action, you need a certain amount of flexibility in your quadriceps, as well as strength in the quadriceps along with that flexibility, and flexibility from the hamstrings, as well as strength. This action that I'm asking you to do does not come without that. If you don't have that, all sorts of little interesting things begin. If the quads are too tight, then what's going to happen, it's going to shift your body. Here, think about the quadriceps muscle, thinking about a muscle belly has fibers and they kind of do like that. And what's happening is their muscle, as it stretches, you're actually pulling muscle fibers apart. So if you think about your quadricep right here, when I start to bend, my quadricep has to do this in order to allow my body to drop here. The quadricep is attached here. And if it's not flexible enough and strong enough with enough flexibility, then it's going to go, and it's going to stop. So already here's one point of contention that's going to stop us from going to a deeper level if that's what we're supposed to do. Then you have our beautiful friends, the hamstring and the gluteals. Hamstring comes from this bone underneath you, the sits bones, the ischial tuberosities. And here's the other thing, it crosses the knee. It has to, here's that muscle belly, lengthen as you drop down also. If that muscle is not long enough, then it'll go and you'll stop. If the gluteals are tight, they too cross the hip, come over, attaching onto the pelvis. And if the gluteals will stop this. So guess what? If you're not mobile and strong, squat's going to suck. It's also going to limit you. We need the strength along with the length of all these muscles. So let's inhale, reach up. Exhale, hands to thighs. Inhale, extend. Exhale, flex round. And inhale, sweep all the way up. Now, when we get to our therapeutic sun salutation, our second part, where we widen the stance. Just a reminder, I think each of you have heard me say this many, many times, but we widen the stance because that puts us at an advantage. When the legs are closer, hamstring tightness, quadricep tightness shows up fiercely. When we widen the stance, keeping the knees aligned with the feet, when we do this, inhale, reach up. Exhale, sit back, squat. Let's do that again. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, sit back. And the same idea is I'm sitting my bottom back as far as I can without falling back. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, sit back. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, sit back. Inhale, reach up. And it is important what's happening. Exhale, sit back at your feet. Inhale, reach up, because if the feet are changing their mechanics, sit back. Then now you might be accessorizing. Inhale, reach up at the knee joint or the hip joint. Sit back. Inhale, reach up. You may not have the stability. Tap the mat. Hold. Freeze. Freeze. Breathe. Keep breathing. Inhale, sweep up. Tap the mat. Freeze. Inhale, reach up. Hands to heart. Okay, here's the deal. Boom, boom, busted. Now, I'll get to you later, Jack. Watch out. What we're seeing, and Jack, I'm going to show you this too. See if it'll show up. Catherine's looking at it like she's not really sure. Can you see that okay? All right, we're seeing touching down to the floor, but Rita, what did you notice?
My butt's not back.
It's not lowering. Yeah.
I'm using the.
Oh, you got your shirts almost look alike. I was like, oh no, is that? Yep, that is you. Yeah, it almost looks the same. Yeah, uh-huh.
That's
Yeah.
Well.
Yeah, she's in the back. Okay. So same thing happened. Now I want you to visualize what you just saw. And now I want you to see what I'm doing. Do you see the difference? Do you see how much the angle? I'm looking for this angle right here to that. So this is important. Good. Okay, Jack, give me a side profile, if you don't mind. I love to be demanding. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, sit back. Yes, and so he's getting his butt back right now. He may be inspired by the work that I'm asking y'all to do. Come back up. But notice that that's not hard. That's not easy. So now one of the things that gets in our way, to be very specific, are those feet. Because I'm asking you for a very specific foot position, anchoring through the feet, that makes it really much harder. So now I want you to do something. I want you to get wide, and I want you to turn your feet out somewhat. And I want you to drop into your squat. And I want you to maybe put your forearms down. And I want you to drop into your deep squat, as deep as you can go. Aha. Good. Breathe. Good. Uh-oh. I almost do anything. And now stretch all the way up. Quit doing that crazy stuff, do the calendar. Come back to standing. So I think you guys can see it. So here's Catherine, first one. Let's see if I can go to the correct one. Yeah, first one. Second one. Dropped it a little bit lower. First one, but higher. Second one. Ah, here's Rita, first one. Kind of hard because I don't have them right next to each other. Working on getting lower. Mm-hmm. So if possible, it's not wrong. It's not wrong to round your spine. It doesn't have to be all perfect, but what I really want us to do is this part comes from trying to get down to the floor. Does that make sense? Because if you do like this, staying there, you didn't make it. In your functional day-to-day living, all right, everybody get wide again and let the feet, as long as you keep the ball of the feet and the heel anchored, if you need to, toes go out, then by all means do it. Squat. And now keep squatting, breathe. Drop your bottom down if it will. And notice what you're feeling. There's going to be a need, keep opening the thigh outward slightly. Yeah. And then come up to standing, push up. But when you push up, drop down again. Lift your chest, bring your hands to thighs. Push from your legs. So that it's not just lifting up here. It's not wrong per se, but those are the places where sometimes we forget and we do a big squat, and what we're really doing is lifting up from here. This is designed to give us an extension, and we have muscles that make us go into rotation and stuff, and side bending, but they weren't designed for lifting. So if we continue with mechanics where we're kind of doing like this, and then we lift something off the floor, we think that we're doing a squat, proper lifting technique, but we're really still doing, it's just back is still doing more work than it was designed to do. All right, so now come back to feet parallel, wide legs. Slowly squat, and as you squat, knees aligned with feet. And squat as low as you can, not from the upper body, from the hip. Upper body still doing it, Miss Rita. Drop your bottom. And notice what you feel. So bring forearms to thighs, Miss Rita. Good. Lift your chest up more. Sit your bottom back. Yes, as feedback, I'm coming in close. I want you to think about going down here. This doesn't happen today, but that's where we want to go. Now, if you're there and you're having fun, we could do some pulsing down there. Yeah, and the pulsing, watch where it's coming from. It's the knees and the hips. And there's just this drop. And your thighs are saying, what are you doing? Strong through the legs, and help push all the way up. Huh? Yep, come all the way up. Now push from the legs. So in order to get really serious about changing that squat, those are the mechanics that you have to do. In the last few months, years, and or your squat has not been as effective as it could be. How's that? I say that very directly because Rita asked me the question. You know, some people get their hips down to their heels. Well, I can't do that. You haven't been working on it. Oh. Wide legs, inhale, reach up. Exhale, bend, bring the hands down, sit your bottom back, because this is important. Sit your bottom back, put the hands down, step back into the downward dog. So that's super direct, right? Breathe.
It wasn't my knees that was holding you back.
It's everything. It's the feet, knees, and hips. It's everything. It's all together because your feet, keep breathing. We're in the downward dog. The alignment of the feet then challenges your ability to get down low, right? When we change the alignment of the feet, inhale, wide legs, step the feet towards the hands, inhale and exhale, squat down, forearms or hands to thighs, hold. Yes, Miss Rita, that's it. That drop, and then strong through the legs, push legs, legs, legs. Yeah. And so it's just, what do we want? If we want to get that, we got to do that. But you did spend quite a few years with hip pain, and your hips did not go there. They were painful, rightly so. Now you're able to give them the opportunity to slowly go through that range. We don't have to do that fast.